Before we start wetting our skins, I want to show you how I prepared the area for where I'm going to nail. This is a small nailing board. It's only probably about 20 inches wide. I've got some other ones behind that are probably about 32 inches wide. And this is a piece of Homicide. It's a cellulose fiber board called Sound Board. Also, you can get it at Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot. It's about, I don't know, half an inch thick or so. I have it on top of a sheet of plywood because it's not strong enough by itself. So anyway, I use small panels. To set this up, what I do is I take a piece of craft paper and I do 2 layers of craft paper and I put it on top of my board, and I take and I make a grid. So my grid is 12 inches wide and 37 inches long. And what I have is I draw that on, and then I also draw down the center. I have a similar grid that I use over and over and over again that's made out of, that's plastic. And this is just a piece of shelf liner that I bought on Amazon, and it comes in a big roll, and I just cut it to the length and width that I want to use. And I use this a lot because it's plastic. If I get it damp, lay it on top of a wet skin, it's not going to warp, and I can draw on it. So I have the center of this marked, and then I've got 2 other marks. That's if it's narrower. Anyway, I've got the center and an inch and an inch and a half marked over from that. I've got the length marked 34, 35, 36, 37. I usually end up with my coyote skins at 12 inches wide, sometimes 13, 14, and usually around anywhere from 34 to 37. So this gives you a good base to have drawn out on your board so that when you start nailing, you can reach those goals getting that out on your skin. Now, I use a staple and I put it in and I leave it exposed just a wee bit. You can see that it's elevated. And what that does is that when I nail my skin, I can feel that, and that's my center line. So that way I know that I've got my center line. I can feel that right on the skin. I use a L19 tacker. It's a hand stapler. It takes several different length staples, 1/2 inch, 3/8 inch, 1/4 inch. So it's pretty versatile. I have another stapler, but for some reason it just jammed on me. And I've had it for a long time, so I've got to work on it. I put some lubrication in it, and I don't know, it's just not working. So I like to use both of them. I put the small ones in that one, 1/4 inch staples, and then I use the longer one in this one usually. So what we do next is we're going to take our skin and we're going to wet it. And I have a wetting brush. It's a natural bristle brush. It's a shoe shine brush, and I like it because it's smaller, it fits my hand. I had a bigger one a long time ago, and I wore it out. But I've got a mixture of Easy Leather from Samuel Bauer, Furrier supply, or Samuel Bauer Unlimited. And I put about, I don't know, 1/4 of a cup in a basin like this. And it's got a little bit of softener in it, and it helps give you a little bit more stretch. You can use plain water, of course. That's what I usually always use, but I got used to using this and I like it. So what you do is you're going to wet your skin, and this was the one that I had showed you before. I got everything sewn up on it. I got my small spots where the nipples were sewn. I got this fixed here where the area by the back paw, going down that back paw, was bad. And we're going to wet this, let it sit for about 15-20 minutes, and then we'll come back out and we're going to stretch it out on the board. So wetting, what you want to do is you want to take your brush and you want to saturate all the way. And I'm doing this lightly. You can brush it a little bit firmer, but I don't want it sliding away from me. So you want to wet your entire pelt all the way to the bottom, all the way out to the sides, and you want to get it really good. Now, after you've wet it, I like to come back, and before I fold it, I double check that I've gotten everything on it done. And then what I'll do is I'll fold it edge to edge like this, and I'll let it sit for about 20 minutes. Now, I did a stack over here, and how do you know when it's ready? Well, this is like pretty close to being ready to go. See how soft and pliable that is? And I'm going to probably hit this with a little bit more water, because you can see that one area right here is a little bit lighter, and I want it to soak in. And so I'm going to hit that a little bit more, and then I'll let it sit for probably another 5 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'm going to stretch it. So it's pretty good now, but this isn't going to hurt it. And when I get this going, I'll show you what it looks like.